Oh yeah, we can see the live comments. Cool.
And we are live. Hey guys, it's Ruben from Dub, and I'm here with Christine Tay. And Christine and I are kind of new friends, connected via LinkedIn. And Christine has a really interesting kind of strategy and some insight on a couple of things. She comes to us as a tax consultant, as a money queen. She's also a real influencer. I mean, she has 50,000 followers, connections, whatever you call them on LinkedIn. And I think that she, as a result of that success, she also has added that to her kind of list of services and some of the things that she provides to people. So, Christine, my big question for you is, how do you get how do you amass a following like that on LinkedIn, and then how do you monetize it?
Yeah, so I started being very active on LinkedIn September 20 last year. So
Mhm.
I came on LinkedIn because I quit my corporate job in May, so I have to start figuring out what social media I want to be on. So of course my target market are working professionals, so where would they hang out, right? So I mean they do hang out on Instagram too, but it made more sense to be on LinkedIn, a professional platform. Plus I didn't really like Instagram before. I'm like I don't know. I didn't really like the stories and everything, but right now I'm trying to grow there as well, so I can be very good at two social media platform. But I decided to put all my focus on LinkedIn since September till now. So yeah, I mean, it was a long process, and when I teach my clients, like personal branding takes a while. You cannot just show up and the next day you're gonna expect clients to come to you, right? So it takes time to build
Right.
the know, like, and trust factor, right? So if you show up every day, you kind of show your personality, you nurture your audience, you network, you get to know people. So you just show up authentically. So I just try to be myself. I always respond to all comments, and then I'm pretty much on LinkedIn, a lot. So then when I posted yesterday, I said, yeah, what's my secret to 50K? Is because I spent a lot of time there. So I was partly joking, but that was partly true as well. So how do I monetize that? So after my first really paying client was not till January. So September, October, November, December was mainly, like just building personal branding. I mean, I did have leads coming in, but I wasn't focused on monetizing that. So I think like starting January, just leads just keep coming in. February was probably my highest peak, but now like it's just been consistent leads just coming in. And now like I just started offering LinkedIn coaching just a month ago because I've had more and more people coming to me asking me how did I grow, why do I have so much engagement, stuff like that. So I don't really have the time to keep offering, free tips to random strangers. So I said, why don't I just offer that? So I've had probably 10 clients now for LinkedIn coaching. So that's on the LinkedIn coaching, but my main business is financial coaching. So that's when I start getting my leads and clients starting in January. So yeah, it's just more, I use attraction marketing. So what that means is that you use valuable content, make people like you, because I don't go out there like, I'm like, hey, are you interested? Want to get on a call, whatever. So that's not really my style. I tried that before, but I didn't really like it. So it's more like I just let people come in, and then when they kind of show interest, sometimes they'll message me, or like I will connect with them. But when I connect with people, it's not like, hey, do you want to get on a call, whatever. So when I connect with them, it's more like, yeah, I find your profile interesting. I love to connect with you, and then check me out on my profile, and then see if I can provide some value for you. And I leave it as is, and then like usually they start seeing my content and stuff like that, and then they'll come to me, and then we start a conversation. So but my point is that my focus is on building relationship, and then that's kind of how it works. Like I just, I don't know how else to say. It's just like
Mhm.
spending time there, investing, into relationships, and then posting every day, showing up every day.
So you mentioned something really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You said being seen every day,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yep.
means that you're probably putting some piece of content out there every day. Now, I don't know
Yep.
if that means you're
Yes, I do.
commenting or
Yeah.
if you're posting something. So
Mm-hmm.
you're posting every single day.
Yes, yes. There were a point in time, I think 2 months ago, when I felt pretty overwhelmed. So I started making it every other day. But there has never been like, one whole week I don't post anything. Like it's just part of my habit. Like now,
Yeah.
like when I wake up, I already have a content on my iPad. Then I'm like, oh, then I just copy paste and then post it like around between 7 to 8 a.m. PST, and then it's just part of my habit. Then the first hour I respond to all comments, and throughout the day, I just look at my notification and reply. I reply as much as possible to everyone. But yesterday, like my post went over 1,000 reactions, so it was too much for me. It became too much. So I at least try to like the comment just to let people know that I've seen it. And then if it's a thoughtful comment, then I will try to respond to it. But I try to respond to everything as much as possible.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because there's a lot of pushback that I've heard on posting to social media or LinkedIn every
Yeah,
single day. A lot of people think
yeah,
that it's obnoxious or it's too aggressive, it's too much. We
yeah.
should not be seen in the feed too often, that often,
Well, too
every day.
often, but then I only post once a day because
Yeah.
I think people who post more than I rarely post more than once a day. Like maybe
Yeah.
my second time will be a live in the afternoon, but I rarely post a second time. To me, just my opinion, I don't see much value in it because then
Right.
I do the content, I make sure that I get a lot of visibility for it, a lot of engagement, and then the rest of the time I do a lot of back end stuff. So through DM, building relationship and stuff like that. So there's plenty of things to do. You don't have to be seen by posting so many times. And I actually personally find it annoying. Like I know people post 3, 4 times. Like I end
Right.
up unfollowing a couple of people. I'm like, oh god, I don't want to keep seeing you on my feed. Like, and then someone just said, Alan said, definitely being seen every day. That's where the awareness is coming in. Yeah, yeah, consistently every day, but doesn't mean like you're gonna bombard. Like okay, morning, noontime, nighttime. I'm like, geez, like, and if you have a quality post that's like that is still alive, there's a lot of engagement, it's gonna keep flowing even throughout the night. So you can pretty much touch the entire world if you want to. But for me, my target is mainly the US. I mean, like I do welcome international clients too, but sometimes what I find when I start talking to international clients and they start asking me about investments, about tax, and then where I can't really help them because international laws is different. But if it's just money behavior, then yeah, I can help anyone in the world, right? Or LinkedIn coaching, I can help anyone in the world. But I just try to stick with the schedule that works for me. Otherwise, you're just gonna go crazy. I'm like, oh, what time is Australia? What time is Europe? Blah, blah. Like, I'm like, yeah,
Right.
forget it. Like, I just try to go on live when I can, when my guest is available, and then hopefully, there are a lot of people who are online.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it makes sense. I mean, here's kind of how I see it. Where if we're posting on a social network and
Mhm.
people are not engaging with our content, that individual, through the beauty of the algorithm, is they're not going to see our content. The
Yes.
algorithms of the social networks are very
Mm-hmm.
intelligent. They know when we
Mm-hmm.
like someone's content. They know when we like some topic, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
tag or some
Yeah.
category. And as a result, they're going to feed us that information. But if we don't like it and if we ignore it, then it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
get fed to us. So a
Yes.
lot of people assume that just because they can see that person every day, that everyone else can see that content every day.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, it's the only people that have showed interest. So I think to a certain extent, it's a natural selection process. And it's a natural healing process
Mm-hmm.
where
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
people are only going to see your content if they like your content.
Yes, and
unless
then
they
I
unless they engage with it because they don't like your content, and then they'll
yeah.
still see your content.
Yes, yes. And then I do have a LinkedIn connection who actually works at LinkedIn who
Okay.
focus on the because we were actually a couple of us was interviewed, like a couple of content creators they selected to I think they're working on creating a tool for content creators. So and then I think he became my friend after that because I said let's get connected. So he confirmed with me that their algorithm changed in January to make it like um like if you notice your views actually went down, and it was more because they changed the algorithm so that way your post will only be shown to relevant audience. So
Mm.
they're being pushed out to just everybody. So it's being randomly selected. So that way my engagement hasn't really changed much. The views tank a little bit. I mean, I think maybe even at least half, but then it doesn't matter. The people still engaging me are still engaging, but then it's being more selective. They push out to more people who are like kind of like the same people who are engaging with your content. So that's kind of like, yeah. So
Got it.
yep, yep. So I
So
think like go ahead.
I was gonna say, so it sounds like you kind
Yeah.
of know what's in the what's in the witch's recipe of the algorithm. I mean, I have a couple of
Mhm.
questions.
Yeah.
So, question number one on the LinkedIn algorithm, this very nebulous and mysterious algorithm that people are constantly trying to figure out. So, here are my questions. I'm just going to kind of blurt out a
Yeah.
bunch. You don't have to answer all of them, but they're definitely
Mm-hmm.
things that I think about. Number one is, if you put an external link in a comment
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn, is your post going to get demoted for that?
Mm-hmm.
Number two is that, is it bad? Can it harm you if you mention too many people in the comments?
Okay.
Number three is if you put too many hashtags in the post. Is that going to devote your? So these are just
Yeah, yeah.
questions. I could go
So
on and on.
I should probably ask my friend to come on live with me, and he'd be like the most
Yeah,
popular person ever. So anyway,
yeah.
he might not want to because he
He
works on
can.
the.
They can reveal all the trade secrets.
Okay, so no, I mean, this is just my opinion. Again, I'm not an expert on the algorithm, but then you said your first question was external link. So external link on the post, I think do demote it, but I think in the comment not so much. But then like
Got
if
it.
you have too many comments of external links of what for me like I do have spammers come on my post and said like okay Fiverr work with me blah blah, so I just report them. When you report them it will be deleted. So that's what I do, and then I haven't really seen noticeable differences, and then I do pay attention to my reactions and my comments. And you said the second question was did you say, oh yeah, mention, right? If you mention, okay, so this is my pet peeve. Okay, I was gonna post about it. I really hate people who tag me a lot when they don't show up on my posts. So like for example, like this person tags me so much and then they never show up. When I say show up on my post, that means show up by supporting me, by commenting. So like unless like the person is maybe it's a relevant content, then I'll probably comment on it. But if I'm just one of the millions of people they tag, I think the first few times I'll probably comment, but if I see they never show up still on my content, they keep tagging me because when you tag someone, you're kind of expecting them to come. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's an expectation there. So it's kind of like, hey, come on, hey, I tag you, come here, like comment. So I want to support people, I really do. But then like it is my pet peeve if you keep tagging, you keep taking and taking, but you never take the time to show up on my content, and that's a big no-no. I'll just start unfollowing you or ignoring your content. So that's my pet peeve. I was actually gonna post about it. I feel it's just kind of an etiquette thing too. And then I rarely tag people. I do tag once in a while, if I feel like it, but I rarely do it, because it's my pet peeve. And then someone says, "What are you DMing about?" I just get a lot of annoying spam from people, so it's not a strategy I currently use. Okay, so there's I don't know who you are, but whoever you are, so there's two types of DMing, right? There's DMing sales pitches. Okay, so that's what you are annoying at and spam. And then I do people who DM me about like sales pitches. So that's a one-way trip to the spam folder. So there's a spamming feature now on LinkedIn inbox, so you can just put report spam. It's a one-way trip there unless you specific go to your spam folder. So if
Got
they
it.
do that to me, then okay, they're in the spam folder. But then you can DM people to build relationship. Okay, so you DM people, and then I'm not just like randomly DMing people. It's more like if they open up the conversation already, then you can just think about just like talking to people. Like Ruben and I, he reached out to me. He said, "Oh, come on his podcast, whatever." So after that, we can just keep DMing each other. It's just
Yeah.
a build, relationship building DM. I'm not talking about the annoying spam DMing. So that's that one. I'm annoyed at that too. So those all go to the one way trip to the spam folder.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. And then I think the last one was the hashtags.
Oh yes, okay. So if you notice, I do use hashtags a lot, but I use relevant hashtag, and I make sure to research my hashtag. And I know, like, I get so annoyed when people always act like they're LinkedIn expert. They say, "Oh, only use three hashtags, only use this." And I okay. So for me, like, I think so I never notice any significant differences. So I use as many hashtags as I feel like, as long as you don't make your post look spammy. Like if you have like 50 20 hashtag at the bottom, like it doesn't look good, because you have to look at your overall presentation of your post. So I'm very careful about like how my posts look like. I make it sure that it flows smoothly, it's readable, there's white spaces, and I don't use a lot of emojis too. I know people use so many emojis. To me it looks like I'm like, ugh, like it's like I don't know. I'm not a big fan of a lot of emojis. Like what a couple emojis is fine, and then relevant hashtag, and I make sure to research my hashtag. When I say research, I look at the how many followers do they have. Oh, the
Uh,
Facebook user says thank you in the DM question. Oh, hi Marilyn. Yeah, cool. Now I know your name because for some reason it just says Facebook user. I don't know why.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I make sure to research it and to see how many followers, and then you don't have to go all out like you gotta have millions of followers of hashtags. So I do like for example money talks, like I use that hashtag, and it's not a lot of followers, probably a couple hundred, but I do use it depending on it's relevant to my content. So I use it, and then I notice like all my posts there's always second or third connections coming in, and I like
Mm.
that. And I want, and then when your post trend on the particular hashtag, it gets pushed out to even people outside your network, because those people following that hashtag is gonna get notified. And I have trended on 22 million hashtag follower posts. So it's like it does make a difference. I recommend do use your hashtag, but always pay attention to the quality of your post and then how it looks, because you don't want to look have an ugly post that has allow emojis, allow hashtag, and then like with no like proper formatting and spacing. It just looks ugly to me. It's not very presentable. Yeah.
Got it. And then what about video length? You know,
It's
60 seconds, 6 minutes.
Yeah. So there's a cap of 10 minutes for video. So
Yeah.
for me, when before I got my live stream, I was only putting like 1 minute or less video, even like 20-second video. It's literally like, for me, I mean, everyone has different strategy. For me, I just want people to see me, because I think you get connected better when you actually see the person. Because when you read, you create imagination in your head, like, oh, maybe the person talk like this, whatever. So when you see their video, they're like, oh, that's how they look. So then you can form more. My audience or prospect can form more. It's like, oh yeah, I kind of like the way she talks. I like, because you can form another connection. But now that I have live stream, I'm lazy when it comes to doing video, so I'm not doing much video anymore, because I'm showing up on live stream 3 to 4 times a week. So everyone, if you wanna see me, I'm always on live stream on LinkedIn, so connect with me. So 3 to 4 times a week. So tomorrow, actually Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I have live stream going on, and Sunday I might even come live stream to do an Ask Me Anything Sunday. So yeah, I probably come at least 3 times a week. So
And then when
on
you
live.
when you
Mhm.
great
Yeah.
insight, great information. When you live stream, what is your content? What is your topic? And how did you decide on that content and that topic? Now, it's interesting that you have decided to not post videos, pre-recorded videos, but then you're very active from a live stream perspective. Why is that?
Um, I before my live stream was approved, it was like only a month ago. So I was always going. Okay, I was doing video, like pre-recorded videos, and maybe I don't know. I try to do it once a week, but sometimes I get lazy. But then so now on the live stream, in terms of the theme, I I'm still trying to figure that out. But then I try to make the theme revolve somehow on personal finance, because that is my main business, or maybe even LinkedIn, or maybe just at the I try to keep it focused on personal finance. So I try to make sure that with my guests, I wanna ask them like, is there anything whatever you topic you want to talk about? Because I want to invite pretty much anyone I find interesting, or I like to come on my live stream, because I don't want it like just all finance expert. Then it's like, it's a finance expert, then people might not be able to relate as much. So I want any like random people come on, and then maybe they share their money hit story. Oh, Alan Cox said, live stream, you form a connection better. I think people get a feel for a person somehow. Yeah, that's very true. And I hope, Alan, you kind of get a feel of how I am. So yeah,
Yeah.
and then that is very, very true. And yeah, and then there's just a different way when you see the video of someone, and then just as same, right? Texting or whatever, that's the most impersonal. Then call, that's the second more personal than that. You can feel the tone of the person's voice, and then you can hear them. But then what's better is video, but you can hear the tone, and you can see their body language, and then you can just see all their body language almost, and then that kind of will get you a sense of like, would you be comfortable to work with this person or not.
Got it. And then what
Mhm.
I'm going to do, if it's okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to share one of your live posts here
Okay.
that
Sure.
I have on my screen, which looks really exciting.
Okay.
So I think this here is an
Ah.
example. So talk to us about this. Let's maybe just do a dissection of this here. It seems like a really interesting
Yeah.
topic. You've
So
got some nice production
Yeah,
value.
so I created that hashtag, say Christine Tay Live. You can just click on it; it will show you all my live. I decided to just create my own hashtag, because like, so it's easier to organize it. So you can click, and that's all my lives. So yeah, John, that was yesterday. So he actually reached out to me, because like he wanted to be on my live. I have a couple people who reach out to me. That's why I pretty much do at least 3 lives, because there's a lot of people coming to me to want to be on my live stream. And then I feel bad telling them no. I said, okay, as long as you can share something and kind of connect that to personal finance, then yeah, I can have you on. And yeah, so John reached out to me. He's a wealth manager, and then he said, yeah, he's a wealth manager, financial advisor. Okay, okay, sure. And then the intake form that I asked them to fill up asked all that question, like what five topics you want to talk about, and and then and after that, what are the your personal money history that we can share about. So I try to revolve the topic around that, and then and it is a work. Like I'm very new to this live stream. Sometimes I feel like I'm like a talk show host. Like my friends is like joking, you know, are you trying to be like Oprah now? But it's a different, it's a different type of skill, right? You have to like you know, always like be really quick on your feet. Like, okay, what's the next question to ask? Because you don't want to be like so you kind of have to be prepared as well, and kind of know the audience. And then and I'm also reading the comments at the same time, like you know what I'm doing now. So it's a lot of multitasking as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that it's really interesting that you said, your friends might be, saying some fun things to you, like have you become Oprah? And I think what's really
Mhm.
interesting about this day and age is that to a certain extent we've all had to become, personalities, spokespeople,
Mhm.
faces of something, right? Because we have our businesses, maybe they're small, maybe they're large, doesn't really
Mhm.
matter.
Mhm.
And we have all these great vehicles out there to be able to share our stories and to
Mhm.
communicate. But the
Mhm.
only requirement is for us to just be present and figure out what our voice is, and then the distribution and the vehicle for us to get our voice out there.
Mhm.
And I think that to me is what marketing has become. The old
Mhm.
school idea of marketing where you're trying to drive traffic to this page and get people to fill out a form, and then
Mhm.
then something gets automatically sent to them. That still exists, and we do that a lot at Dub. But at the same
Mhm.
time, I think it's these conversations
Yep.
and the conversations that happen in the digital sphere that I think
Mhm.
are the most meaningful and long term, whether it's from a sales perspective or from a branding perspective. I think these are the most
Mhm.
meaningful
Mhm.
aspects of business and marketing specifically.
Exactly, and then that's what personal branding is so important. So personal, there, you know, that's why there's a personal in the personal brand, because like, what would make someone choose me over other financial coach? Like, you know, if we have pretty much almost similar service, it's mainly because you know they probably like me or whatever. It's my personal brand. So for LinkedIn, you know, for my business, I try to revolve my personal brand around money. So my content is around money mindset and sometimes inspirational stuff, because I'm a spiritual person. So I do share a lot of like words of wisdom in the spiritual sense. And I also try to show my funny sides, my sense of humor in some of my posts as well. So I try to, and also I share sometimes my dogs, because I have two dogs, so about dog life, pet lives, and stuff like that. So, and I know someone asked that question. Oh, when you put, if you want me to answer that.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
kind of
okay.
summarize that. I'll
Oh,
summarize
okay.
that for you, and it's
Mm-hmm.
something I've noticed
Mm-hmm.
as well. And I think that what I think people have noticed is that lately there's just generally less engagement on LinkedIn posts, less views, less organic visibility for some reason. Reach, basically, it seems like it's decreased. And I think you kind of touched upon that earlier on when you mentioned that there were some
Mm-hmm.
changes in the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I think it's more kind of relevancy based or audience based, maybe, or some
Mm-hmm.
combination thereof. But well, I guess let's flip it to a positive. How can we maximize our reach with our LinkedIn posts? I know that the first thing is to stay native on LinkedIn. Don't put a
Mm-hmm.
YouTube video. Don't put, I
Mm-hmm.
know, some sort of an external blog.
Mm-hmm.
Post it to an article on LinkedIn.
Mhm. Mhm.
Upload the video. Upload the
Yeah.
image. But what is your take on maximizing reach and engagement?
Yeah. So I know Marilyn asked about that too. So yeah, I mean, so there are certain specific strategies to do that, but I think in the overall sense is like, you know, okay, so content is one thing, but I think like you do have to support people. You know, that's very important. You have to support people, and think someone said, yeah, I people message me, but not allow visible engagement on posts. So well, I have to ask you, Marilyn, like, how often are you on LinkedIn? What kind of work are you doing on LinkedIn? So if you want to deep dive into more specific strategies, I have a lot of strategies, and then I can help you with that. And then I know Ruben said that he knows a decrease, but for me, actually, I have noticed an increase. My last three posts today, yesterday, and the other day all got, you know, a couple hundred likes. Yesterday I got over 1,000. So you there are specific strategies. So that's where my LinkedIn coaching come in place. You can hire me for that. So, but in the general sense, like you do, I mean, overall, you do have to spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. And I'm not saying like, all day, whatever. But you do have to spend significant time, like, to relationship, build your relationship. And then you do have to, and then I posted yesterday that I don't hire a VA. So all the comments that I respond to is all personal, or the DMs I respond to is personal. So it's all coming from me. And then, like, because I like to get to know my audience, I want to know what speaks to them. Like, when I post something, I'm like, oh, these are the type of comments I'm getting. So I know this is the type of content that they want, then I'll kind of revolve around that. So over time, you can kind of know your audience. And also, I go out of my way to support people. I don't care if someone, I don't care about supporting only the big people. Sometimes people are so focused, oh, I want to get the attention of these big influencers. No, I don't. I go to my home feed, and then I see if something speaks to me, then I support them, like. And I'm really about that. Oh yeah, that was my yesterday's post. No, 2 days ago. Yeah, that was like 800 or 900. And then,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Yesterday's post, I think, got 1,000 likes. The one I just scroll up.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is great.
that was me. Like, oh, I guess it's not. Yeah, you have to go to my main post. I was sharing that I had reached 50,000 followers, and then that got a lot of
Got it. Well,
reaction.
let's
Hmm.
just kind of take a look at this. This is really
Yeah, yeah.
interesting. I think that you were really mindful on your
Yes,
hashtags here. You know,
yes,
you have a
yes,
couple of relevant ones.
yes,
I think it's really nice how you
yes,
incorporated those into the
yes,
writing. You know,
yes,
I
yes.
think that that's really key. So
Hmm. And it
you have probably almost 10, give or take, hashtags. And then I noticed you didn't mention anyone in this, at least none that I see
Nope,
up here.
nope, no tagging in that. No, nope.
And why didn't you tag? You just felt like you didn't need to, or you felt like it would
No,
litter it?
like like again, like I feel like okay, if someone tags me a lot, and then we kind of have an understanding, like we already have some sort of relationship going on, and there's an understanding there. I tag you, you tag me, then, oh, okay, sure. But then for the most part, I am a little annoyed when people tag me a lot, and then so that's why. Then because of that feeling, I just don't want to tag, and I want people to come to my post because they want to. I Because when you tag, there's a sense of obligation there, and I don't want people to feel a sense of obligation. I want them to comment and engage because they want to. They love my content. They like me. They want to support me. I want that type of reason. And Alan said, "Oh, get the pen out. Lots of value here." You're very welcome, Alan. Look, so connect with me on LinkedIn, Alan. I don't know if we're connected, but connect with
Yeah.
me and send me a message, okay? Yeah. Yeah. So see, no, I mean, you see me tag once in a while. I'm not gonna say I never tag, but I do tag once in a while. But it's very rarely. I'm not a big fan of tagging. So I
Got it.
think I think like, because then if you focus on tagging, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on getting attention, but you should focus on, like, your content, what value. And then if you see my content, like, I don't count how many hashtags I have. I just see, like, okay, is this hashtag relevant to this? Like, does this make sense? And I make sure my formatting is correct. It flows smoothly. It's very nice, and then nicely laid out. And then so the tagging, and then, like, I focus on that, and then I focus on, oh, what kind of engagement am I getting? What kind of, like, what kind of reaction are people getting? And if you see my engagement, like, they're not like, okay, great pose, hello, yeah, and like, those are people who probably have paying for automation, some sort of automation, like, I like, you see, like, oh, or like people who sign up for some automation, and then, like, they go to all this content, and then their comment are all like, great post, sounds good, awesome, blah blah blah. And then it's like they don't even read, so they probably hired, like, an automation tool, and then it's not personal. So that's why, like, if you're gonna build relationship with LinkedIn, you better put thoughtful comments. And then most of the time, comments are thoughtful, but now, like, I'm starting to relax more on LinkedIn. I probably joke around more on my comment, and sometimes say stupid, silly things, but that's because people already know me, so I feel a lot more comfortable. But it's like, you don't just go, great post, whatever, and then if you don't mean it. Yeah.
Yeah. And now let's kind of talk a little bit about monetizing the effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Yes.
obviously investing a good amount of time, on a daily basis into posting content, engaging, really kind of maintaining your network, which is great. I do
Mm-hmm.
the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a student of this. I'm constantly trying to learn and figure out, and
Mm-hmm.
attraction-based marketing, value-based
Mm-hmm.
marketing.
Yep.
That's awesome. Demand generation, really powerful things. But now, how do we get this into a place where what I love about your presentation of this is that it's very organic, and it's not selfish, it's not greedy, it's all based on value, organic
Yep.
value to people. And I
Mm-hmm.
really sense
Yes.
that, and I really
Yep.
connect to it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're a money queen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
And
not.
you figure out ways to monetize things. I know it. So talk to us about that a little
I
bit.
love money, and then I always post about this. I love money. Money loves me. It's a mindset thing, and I know when the first time I posted that video, I got several comments that says money is the root of all evil. They even quoted me several Bible, and I think one person got so offended she even messaged me and eventually blocked me. And then I was like, no, you're totally looking at the wrong way, and you obviously didn't read my entire post because I said something about it's not there anymore, but it was I have to repost again, but it was like a couple months ago. But I'm planning to repost again. Actually, I was
Okay.
supposed to post it today, but something else was a better post, so I'm gonna post it maybe another time. But anyway, so they quoted me that money is the root of all evil. But then like when read, I mean, I wrote the entire post. It was like when you have money is just a tool, okay? A tool that brings about more of who you are. If you are a greedy person, if you have more money, that would just grow, bring up more of your greediness. But if you're a generous person and you have a tool, money, and more of that tool, you're just gonna be more generous. So I truly believe, like, it really brings up more of who you are. And I think people who are afraid of having more money, I think they're just afraid of who they might become. There's a part of them that they're afraid of that will come up. So that's why, but I'm not afraid of that. I teach all my clients to love money. I love money. Money loves you because it's very, very hard for you to become rich or to have something more of if you hate that. If you have this concept like, oh, money is gonna make me evil, money, like all rich people are greedy, evil, blah blah. Like it's very hard for you to become that if you have that negative mindset. So yeah,
Right.
I embrace it. I love money. Bring it on, keep money coming in, and I didn't come on LinkedIn to be a famous person. Okay, so that's like if I want that, then I should just go on TikTok and dance every day, whatever, and then not figure out to monetize. But no, my main purpose on coming on LinkedIn was for my business, and then
Yeah.
like but at the same time there's the right way to do it. I came on for my business, but I didn't come on with the intention I'm just gonna prospect, get much money. So that's where people come in wrong. Then they start messaging so many people to prospect. It's like a shotgun effect, right? You shoot
Yes.
a
Right.
hundred people, maybe you might hit one of them, become your client. So
Right.
I used to do that. I'm like, no, this is not gonna work. I don't like this. This doesn't make me feel good. So that's why I focus on personal branding and attraction marketing now.
And then, so what do you? So people DM you, you get messages. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't see any links. I don't. What your content is? I
Yeah.
see a
Yep.
URL in your
Yep.
post, but I don't see links.
Yep. No,
How do you manage that?
yep. I never, I hate it when people like, okay, they post so much value on their posts, and then towards the end they're like, oh, schedule a call with me. And then it's like then it's like I don't know, it's like it's it's too salesy to me. Okay, so there's a way you can attract, because I attract people to want to be curious about me, right? Then they go to my profile, they're like, oh wow, Christina financial oh, that's what she does. Oh, okay, then I have my link on my profile, so if they want to schedule with me, then they schedule from my profile or go to my website through my profile. So that's how I do it. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I mean, it's not like I never post my link. Once in a while when I'm trying to promote like my budgeting course, then I do say, hey, the link to my budgeting course is on my comment, but it's not like up your face, in front of your face, hey, sign up for this budgeting course, blah blah. So you don't want to be too much up your face, because like, hey, come on, just buy me. So you want to make it a subtle marketing, but attracting people to want to be curious about you. That's the type of thing. Like even for me, right? Like when someone's trying to sell me something, I really hate it when they're like, you can just sense it. Like every other sentence, like, oh, you want to get on call with me? You want to buy something? Like it's like you can just sense it. So you don't want to come on. Like when I talk to prospect, it's never about them. My intention is like I focus on helping. How can I help you? Okay, so but how can I help you? And
Right.
then let them, and then I never follow up with my prospects anymore. I tell them, hey, if you're interested, just come to me and let me know. Okay, because like I used to follow up and then most of them just ghost me, and I'm like, this is a waste of my time. So I focus more on attracting more people. That's where I feel better, much better about that. It's just makes me feel my energy is better spent on that one versus on following up. And then usually when someone's really interested in you, they always come back. So I just follow that model, and then like I don't go like I know some sales coach come and tell me, it's like, yeah, before you end the call with your prospect, make sure you get their credit card number and then charge, because then they might change their mind after they get off the call with you. So I don't like that, because then I wanted that they're 100% in or 120% in. So after the call, and they like, even they thought about it overnight, whatever, that, I really want to work with Christine, I really like her, and she doesn't have to pressure me. That's the type of client I know that are very committed, and that's the type of client I want to have. And then usually, and then, that's how it has been, the past couple of months since I changed my ways, that people who have signed up with me, they're very committed. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I love how you
Mhm.
really are focused on attracting and getting folks to see you on,
Mhm.
in this case, LinkedIn, because that's the best way to follow up people. I would
Mhm.
say that you are doing the best type of follow up, which is you're creating original content. And if
Mhm.
you're already connecting with those people on LinkedIn, then they're going
Mhm.
to see your stuff, and then that's
Yeah.
just putting you on their top of mind. It's a reminder, it's a
Exactly.
touch point, and
Mhm.
it's value. It's not an annoying email. It's
Yep.
not an annoying bump.
Exactly.
It's value, and that's what builds trust and credibility. And you said it in the beginning: know, like, and trust.
Mhm. Yep, yep, exactly. Yeah, yeah, and then and yeah, like you said, it's not like an annoying thing. Like, it's like they can just start seeing my posts, and it's not like I constantly message them, hey, hey, schedule a time, schedule a time, schedule a time. But at least, like, it's on their newsfeed, and they go on their leisure time. I was like, oh, and I don't like put it out there, like you said, okay, schedule a time with me all over LinkedIn and all over my posts. So it's like subtle, and then it's like, okay, then so much value, and then they're gonna love it, and over time they're gonna come to you, and then some of them might never sign up, and you know what, that's okay with me, because then I value all my connections on LinkedIn. So there are two types of people on LinkedIn when it comes to accepting connections. So one side says, I'll never accept connection from third world countries, from like develop, like whatever, like, yeah, because they will never be my target client. They will never have money, so they only accept people from their target market. But that's not the way I think. I value each of my connection, and you know what happened? Like, if I have a lot of, like, good quality engagement from people from the other side, from those third world country. They keep my posts alive. So when I am sleeping, they constantly engage, and that's how I my visibility keep growing, because I value each and every one of my connections, regardless if they buy from me. No, because that's not my only reason for being on social media. I mean, if I want people to just buy me, I should just like do the shotgun effect, right? If that's my the only thing I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a thing that I kind of
Mhm.
struggle with a lot is, should I accept everyone's connection request on LinkedIn?
Yes, yes. That is a one big concern of people and of my clients too. And it's up to you. But me, I accept everyone. I mean, so the way I see it is that I'll accept everyone till you give me a reason to block you or delete you.
Got
So
it.
so when that happens is that I accept everyone, then later on you start messaging me sales pitches, or like be rude or inappropriate. Because some people think that LinkedIn is Tinder. Like, I'm like, are you on the wrong link? Like, let me guide you to Tinder or Match.com. Like, this is the wrong link, okay? So then when they like, then sometimes, like, if I'm in the mood, I usually just joke around with them and something like that. And then if they get it, they're smart enough to get it, then yeah, you can continue conversing with me. But if you're like, don't get it, then I'll disconnect you, report your profile, and then block you. so so yeah, that's the way I do it. And then sometimes, like, or if they start being rude in my comments, like, I don't even spend so much energy on rude people commenting me. I just report the comment, and then, okay, bye, and then delete them. So that's how I do it. So that's for me, because then I'm all about building and building, and then, like, then I haven't maxed out my connections. So I'm 50,000 followers, and then, as you know, connections on LinkedIn max out at 30,000. So I'm probably, what am I now? I think 20,000 connections still. So I have a lot more followers than connections. So I still have 10,000 more to go to of connections. So then when I max out my connections, that's the time I'll go back and clean that. So of course that's gonna take a lot of work, because I do want to keep connecting with people who could possibly, my target market as well. So I'll probably go back and clean up, and then look at each individual profile and like, okay, then this person that has never engaged with me, they will never be my client. Then I'll start cleaning them up. But I'm still have like 10,000 more to go, so I'm not even worried about that. So for now, I just accept everyone. Yeah.
Amazing.
Hmm.
What good information and insight, Christine. I really appreciate your time. How can people find you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, so find me by my full name, Christine Tay, Teh. So my business name is Tay Financial Coaching, Teh Financial Coaching, but connect with me on my personal page because I rarely post on my business page. And then if you're familiar with LinkedIn, business page doesn't really get pushed as much, and you want to have post from your personal page. So connect with me, Christine Tay, and I think Ruben kind of show you how you can kind of see me, and then like I have a very bling bling background. It will say financial coach, enrolled agent, and LinkedIn coach. So just connect with me, and then I'll be happy. Let me know you heard from me through this live, and then yeah, and then we can just chat. Hopefully this was very helpful for you.
Cool. And I'll make sure to mention you in all of my posts and then never engage with your content.
Yeah, and then and what you know what people will do? They'll do the opposite.
and then you'll block me.
Yeah.
Christine, thank you so much for your time. This was awesome.
You're very welcome. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate everyone who tuned in and asked question and made a comment.
Thanks again. Bye bye.
Mhm.